Alright. This is just a little quick speed build of a little starter house that I was doing last night on Sims. As you can see, when I make a starter, I started a little bit differently. I purchase all the things that I want to go in the house first, just so that I can see how much money I have. I tend to get a little bit carried away with the buildings sometimes, and then it's a lot easier to buy the things I want first and then figure out how much space I can make for them than to build this beautiful house from the outside and not have enough money to fill the inside. So at this point I haven't decided on a color scheme or anything quite yet, so everything's just kind of going in whites and, well, the bed's green, but it is what it is. Yeah, so we're planning on making a one bedroom. You'll see in a second. I thought about making it a starter home for 4 Sims, like a family of 4, but it wasn't quite up to the challenge. Money was a little tight. Some of the things you'll see me putting out are actually going to be sold again because I need to make money to be able to build the house I want and have what I need in it. There's also a couple of things that I forget through the process, and yeah, see, here I am planning for 2 kids, and those aren't staying, those are going right now. Yeah, we're gonna have a little patio in this house, and yeah. I'm looking for the space that I have. I know what I want the front of the house to look like at this point. Kind of know the general aesthetic that I want to go for. I don't know anything about colors or yet anything like that quite at this point, but that's coming along quickly. I ran into a bit of trouble with the walls here. Don't know why, but they didn't want to cooperate with me. I like using arches in houses just for the flow of it. Like, I feel like the doors close a lot of things off, the light doesn't flow from room to room. I like using the open arches just because of that light flow. Just a little TV room, little living room. It's only a house for 1 or maybe 2 Sims, but definitely works. The kitchen is small. It's also a dine-in kitchen, which you're gonna see, but that'll take some figuring out on my part. Originally where I would have put a second bedroom for 2 kids, but I decided to make it just a computer room instead. I thought that was a bit more useful in this case. Trying to figure out while I'm doing this where the main master bedroom is going to go, where I want the patio to be. Just a couple of small decisions. It's easier for me when I'm making the starter, like I said, to lay out a room first and then kind of build around it when I'm not sure what I want to do. And that definitely helped in this case with the placement of the doors and the patio. So the patio is going to fill that little back corner there, just a little barbecue and a little table and chairs. The chess set isn't going to make it in the house. Going to be moved. Just figuring it out. I don't know, I like the challenge of making a starter home because it's fun to try and figure out what you're going to do with the little bit of money that you have. And yeah, there's not much left over when you buy this house, but I do think the house has pretty much everything you need. Roofs? I'm still learning roofs. One of my friends seems to think that I'm a master of roofing in Sims 4, but really you just have to be willing to play with it and scrap sometimes what you work, like if you wanted, like what you just saw. I didn't want this shape of roof originally, but the way that it turns out in the end, it turned out to be something that I am really happy with. Honestly, I think it's some of my best roof work yet. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and toot my own little horn a little bit. to use the biggest one, that very big bulky trim, but it pulls it together. I'm not sure why the actual trim, that white border around the house, didn't work on the very front. Maybe something that I'll look into later, but it didn't bother me last night to the point that I had to fix it. It wasn't like an, oh my god, it has to be perfect right now. It was something that I was willing to wait on. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that altogether this build took me just about 40 minutes, which is a really quick build, as anyone that really plays Sims will let you know. And I haven't yet played it. It's up on the gallery. I will post a link for my bio in the description, and you can find it for yourself. We play out a little bit of landscaping. I never used to landscape my houses. I used to just leave them. But this time I wanted to have the paths, and we're going to go back in later and add some gardening. Just keeping that tab open to watch the value of the home as I'm painting, and gonna add in windows in a minute, just to see where I'm at. At this point I haven't even realized yet that there's no lighting, so I can't really see what the walls are gonna look like. But I'm happy with the way that it turned out in the end. Playing around with a couple different window types. Wanted to see how they looked on that outside siding before I finalized the house. A little tiny privacy window in the bathroom lets some natural light in. So there is definitely a lot of sunlight that comes into this house. This is where I realized there are no lights in the rooms for nighttime. Except for, I think I had the lamps in the living room / TV room and the bedroom. There wasn't a lot of money to really go overboard, but when I'm going through the house once the build is done, you'll see I've kind of hovered my mouse around some spots that I personally would add another touch. I wanted to put a long rug in that kind of hall area, but couldn't quite find one that I really liked. Gone with a little bit of a blue flow through the house. Blue is a nice welcoming color, nice and calming. A little bit of decoration in the bathroom. Nothing too much. Just a couple of touches. I'm pretty sure this was the plank that I went on. Yeah, I went on to landscaping here. Tree in the backyard, give you some shade while you're eating on the patio. Some flowers front. It took me forever to really figure out where the mailbox was in here, because when you build a new rest and you're in world edit mode, it doesn't really give you a mailbox to work with. So we found a cute little quaint one. More flowers that are going to go in the yard and get moved around. There's not a lot of money left. As you can see, we're hitting the upper limit. There's the trim that I like. It's the very big one, that second one there in that bottom panel. That's my favorite. The roof didn't quite look tied together completely, so I went ahead and added another little, purely for aesthetic reasons, that little trim over the door. One bedroom, one bathroom. It's a 20 by 15 lot, and it will pretty much cost all of the money that you start with when you play the game with one sim. I think it looks pretty polished. I'm gonna take you inside now and do a little bit room to room. This is the kitchen and dining room. It's just a small space enough for 2 sims. A little TV room. I would put a painting there. That's one spot that I would put some art. Skip the computer room out to the patio and into the bedroom. I like the bedroom. again, in the bathroom, I would put something on that wall. I'm not sure what. I'd definitely put a rug there in that main room and probably a couple of houseplants. And yeah, that's the house. You can find it on the gallery. Like, favorite, download, and comment here what you'd like to